Welcome back to another MPJ rock album review show. I'm your host Nigel, and welcome to my crew, to Paul, to Dave, to Chris, and to Ian. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
So, what's the show all about? If you're first tuning in for the first time, we are reviewing the latest rock albums, and we are matching them head to head. So we're doing two album reviews here today, and they are Rick Springfield, Automatic, versus Serainia Telli, and Addicted to Colour. Which would we spend our hard-earned money on? We rate them out of 5. Will they get into our Hall of Fame? Who knows? It's a hard task to get into that Hall of Fame, and therefore maybe get shortlisted for our Album of the Year. And I think this is our 268th album review, people. Now we're getting old. So let's start with Rick Springfield. Who is Rick Springfield? Rick Springfield, or Richard Lewis Springthorpe, that's his full name, born August 1949, known as Rick Springfield, is an Australian-American musician and actor. He was a member of the pop rock group Zoot from 69 to 71, then started a solo career. The debut single, Speak to the Sky, which was top 10 in Australia in the mid-1972. When he moved to the US, he says, turn the page over, a number one hit with Jesse's Girl, people, in 1981, both Australia and US, which he received a Grammy Award for, and followed all top 10 US hits, I've Done Anything From You, Don't Talk to Strangers, Affair of the Heart, and Love Somebody. And Springfield's 2 US top albums, Working Class Dog in 81 and Success Hasn't Spoiled Me in 82. Will today with Automatic will be reliving the heights of his success, or will he not? Right, well, let's talk about height of success then. And so, Chris, let's start with you then. What did you think of Rick Springfield and the album Automatic?
So I really like this. It hit a lot of notes for me. There's great beats to songs like This Town, which is feeds into the album. It's quite a long album. There's 19 tracks on this one, but there's a lot of good stuff there. And yeah, just the beat, the music, the way that they're playing into it, and then the lyrics as well, just did everything for me. When it got added to my my playlists already. I'm listening to a lot of more Rick Springfield since we started doing this. I think Make Your Move, The Cure for Your Loneliness, and Invisible World are the real highlights for me on this album. But it was really good as far as I'm concerned.
What sort of genre would you put it in though, mate? Rock and roll? Just pure out of the rock and roll?
That is a tough one. I think you've got to go for it's got to be one of the sort of it's either rock and roll or just pure rock. But it's tough to sort of put it in a single place because there's quite a lot of some of the songs move around a bit just in terms of the genres that you're working with. But it's a tough one for me to put into a box really.
Paul, bit of Rick Springfield, bit of rock and roll. What did you think?
Yeah, so, Rick Springfield is also a celebrity. He's had a very successful acting career as well, and he's alternated between them both over the years. And his first big hit, Jesse's Girl, has been heard by countless of millions of music lovers. At 73 years of age, like a number of musicians of his era, there doesn't seem to be much slowing down. Automatic, for me, was an AOR album that has 20 tracks powered by impulsive dance hooks and framed with the terseness of punk. For die-hard fans, this is probably a must-buy album. As for myself, I found it a well-rounded album. Good songs, great musicianship, but nothing to get too excited about.
Now, we don't normally get excited about Ian, but maybe today we're going to be. Let's find out, shall we? Ian, a bit of Rick Springfield, automatically good or automatically bad? Talk to me. Oh, and by the way, please don't review every single song on this one. All right, 19.
No. Oh, trust me, I won't. 19 tracks. I'm never getting that time back in my life, am I? Imagine if Simon Cowell took someone with a really long established career already and said, I know what we're going to do with you. We're going to commercialise the shit out of you and just absolutely destroy your reputation. That's what we're going to do.
Well, Ian, you're almost right there, because I think he was one of the judges on Celebrity's Got Talent or something in the US.
That doesn't surprise me, Paul. That doesn't surprise. I thought this was awful. There were a couple of sort of. I would put this in the country rock and pop genre, and I lose. There's a couple of tracks that were a bit rocky, but this isn't a rock album. I don't think it's trendy teen pop with a country edge. It's just and covered by a granddad. I mean, it's just something just felt very wrong and almost creepy about this album. If I'm being honest, I just really there wasn't one original concept in the album of 19 songs. You would hope there would be something. No, nothing at all. I thought, well, am I listening to Backstreet Boys? Am I listening to One Direction? These are a load of tracks that perhaps his agent or whoever has bought the rights to sing, and the people that pen the lyrics are like, oh, we were hoping BTS or someone was going to pick this up and just do massive things with it. Overproduced, terrible lyrics for the most part. Just I can never get this time back. And 19 tracks. The standout tracks for me, I really highlight how bad this was Broke House, Automatic or Auto-Tuned, and When God Forgets My Name. Well, I'm not God, but I definitely want to forget this name.
Somebody's name that we will never forget. Dave, bit of Rick Springfield, did it do for you?
I mean, on first listen, it was reasonably enjoyable. I mean, it's fairly innocent, generic rock, if a little cheesy. However, more and more I listened to it, I just found myself laughing at it, and definitely not in a good way. There are some lyrics on there that are very questionable, and I do not want to hear a 70-year-old singing about. As well, if I was Carlos Santana, which I'm not, unfortunately, I would definitely be calling my lawyers. Worked for me. If you're familiar with the song Smooth, I'm pretty certain that's as close to a blatant rip-off you can get without just actually covering the song. There is enjoyment to be had here, but it's very minimal.
Yeah, poor old Chris. Yeah, it was a trash album, wasn't it, really? It was 19 songs, way too long. If you're going to do an album like this, let's get in, let's get out, let's make it enjoyable, let's get stuff out. Yeah, some of the lyrics...
I'm wondering if I had a bonus track on mine, because I had 20 tracks.
Oh, well, you must have done, mate. I tell you, trash it. I mean... I am a master innuendo, right? You all know that. I'm a master innuendo, and there is no innuendo about this. It's blatant, and it's almost like a combination. He tried to be a bit of Whitesnake and tried to be a bit of Bryan Adams, and failed miserably at kind of both of them. Really, it was just like I don't know. I've got to say, I think that he had fun with this album, and that's great. He had fun with this album, and and for the record, Trish absolutely loved this album. She thought it was so much fun. She laughed her head off right the way through it. But for me, it was just distinctly average. Yeah, there were some good rock tracks in there. It was reasonably well produced. I could see the fun elements in it, but I mean, I like my innuendo to be a little bit more subtle than that, and try to leave it a bit to imagination. There was one particular track, I can't remember the name of the song, but it was left with there was nothing about imagining what was happening in that one. Really, it wasn't even subtle, and it was just like, and I found that a bit really. Come on, this has all been done before, and this has been done a lot better than this. But that's kind of where I come from. So we go from somebody who's been around for a very long time to somebody who's brand new to the scene. Serainia Telli is a Swiss-born singer, guitarist, songwriter, ex-Burning Witches, which we reviewed an album not so while ago. Now as a solo project that she formed with drummer Rico H, Stoneman and Anna Lux, and bass player Alice Lane Padini. They started to work on the first songs in 21, and the pandemic affected the work to the extent we had a hard time in the studio. But something good, came out of a bad situation, so to say. And bizarrely, we went to watch our album of the year review show last year, which was Visions of Atlantis. They were playing in the 1865 club in Southampton last month, and bizarrely, supporting her was Serainia Telli. So we got to see not you lot obviously, but I got to see with some of the other guys. We went to watch her. We saw her live. So it's quite a bit interesting then to come and listen to her album. So let's start with Paul then. Serainia Telli, new on the block. What do you reckon?
Well, yeah, as far as I know, she's more known for her hair colour than
blue hair.
Yeah. And yeah, she spent some time with Burning Witches, which we reviewed their last album a couple of months ago. Her first solo album, Simple, was mildly received by hard rock critics, and for this her follow-up album, she's definitely cranked up the volume, at least on the first two tracks, Song for the Girls and Monkey and Zookeeper. After that, we're introduced to slower songs and some ballads before the tempo is picked up again. I enjoyed the album, but I found it to be stylistically a bit samey.
Talk about being a style of samey. Ian?
So, I thought this was Addicted to Colour. I'm addicted to Serainia Telli. I thought it was a fantastic album. And you mentioned Burning Witches and the bands she used to be in that classed their music as clit rock. I think that's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant name for a genre. And her opening track, agrees, fantastic. Song for the Girls. I think that continues that statement. And for that reason, I'm not sure about who Serainia is, so I'm going to refer to them as they. And just out of respect, because I don't know how they would want to be referred to, but I don't want to be disrespectful in any way. It's a solid, heavy rock with a varied feel. A bit like heavy country rock in places, I thought, and you can see why she wanted to step away from Burning Witches. And my understanding is they parted ways on very mutual, very agreeable terms, and she just wants to do her thing. She's Swiss, and you hear that in her accent, especially when she's talking about Addicted to Colour at the beginning. There's kind of like a staged interview, or perhaps it's a real interview, I don't know. I really like that. She's clearly a feminist, but first and foremost a rocker. They are clearly a feminist and first and foremost proud to be a rocker, I think. I enjoyed rocking with them and could relate so much what they were singing about on there. So great vocals, super voice, and the standout tracks for me were Addicted to Colour, Be Somebody, and All Your Tears. I thought there's some great lyrics and an artist for young people to look up to and listen to and probably relate to quite well.
Yeah, all her biopsy and stuff on the website and stuff, it says it's she. But yeah, I get where you're coming from on that one.
Okay.
So, Dave, Serainia, what did she do for you?
Yeah, a solid hard rock album. I really enjoyed it. Really good vocals. Definitely a good standard. I would say that it is a bit samey. Doesn't really mix it up enough for my taste, but it's a short enough album that it's not too much of an issue. It gets in, gets out again, does what it needs to do. Song for the Girls and Hit Shit, definitely highlights for me. One thing Ian mentioned, obviously, the little spoken interview part. There's another spoken part in the album, and both of them seem to have basically just putting forward the same message that you don't need to do drugs and alcohol and all that lot to be part of rock music, which is a good message. But the fact that she repeats it does become a little bit preachy for me. But other than that, I mean, it really does hit the mark for me. It's an album I can see myself going back to, that's for sure.
Chris.
So yeah, I absolutely have to agree with Dave in what he was just saying there. That literally the words I wrote down on my notes. Maybe gets a little bit preachy at the beginning of Think. which is the other song where they've got that little bit of spoken word beforehand. I haven't listened to Burning Witches, but if she left to do what she wants to do, then let her keep doing it, because this was really good. Ian and I are finally back on form, like in the same type of music. Very solid album. I don't say this lightly when I say that her sort of the singing style reminds me of Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, because I absolutely love Hailstorm, but there's some of the stuff with Hailstorm is a little bit more tongue in cheek, which isn't here in Addicted to Colour. But yeah, absolutely, great album. I will be listening to more of Serainia Telli. So yeah.
Actually, there's a little poster of her on my wall, which I bought her, which she signed. She was amazing live. Probably one of the best support acts I've seen. I've gone to a lot of small gigs, and she was just sensational. She really was. What a performer! Brilliant musicianship, brilliant singer, absolutely terrific. So I bought I said a little postcard which she signed, which is on my wall, which is really cool. So it's kind of interesting for me then to go from because I mentioned at the beginning that I saw her live, and then to kind of get into the album, and there is difference between an album and a live performance. This was solid. It was a really solid, really good. I enjoyed Addicted to Colour. I enjoyed The Harder Way. I thought that was a cracker as well. They both of those made my cool playlist. But I think that I'm going to tinge that with a little bit of. It was old school. I don't like being preached at, and to be honest with you, this whole I don't have to be addicted to perform. I don't particularly enjoy that interview. It annoys me. I just want to try and cut that out of the record. I don't want to listen to that every time I want to listen to that track, but I'm forced to. That kind of got a little bit annoying because it was too long. And yeah, kind of what? So you're not addicted to drugs, you're not addicted to alcohol, but you're addicted to colour. I think the song should stand by itself from that side of things. So a little bit preachy, and I just felt that. And then bear in mind it's her first album. I think there was some elements to this where it was a little bit. I kind of heard that sort of stuff before, really, but there was also a lot of really good stuff in there. But her performance though carries it in a lot of ways. What an album! What a performer! Genuinely, if you get to see her live, I would definitely recommend it. I think she's going to be a little superstar, hopefully, if she continues on. But I understand the similar style. I don't think she's in Lizzie Hailstorm's league, but I think she can get there from that side of things as well. So yeah, really good album, and it's really nice to see somebody live and then listen to her album from that side of things as well. Okay, let's find out our scores. Who's going to win this battle? I think it's going to be quite an easy decision to make by the side of it, based on our reviews. But let's go through the motions then. Who do we start? Dave, let's start with you then. Let's go for Rick Springfield.
2.5.
Chris.
I'm going to stand on a ledge with 4. I really liked it. So.
Paul.
It's a 2.5 from me as well.
Ian.
I really don't do this often, but it's a 0 for me. I just didn't get anything from it whatsoever.
No, that's absolutely fine. Oddly, we negotiated being Trish. I actually give it a 2.5 as well, but she loved it. She gave it a 4. So we had to settle on a 3.5. I had to give to get something else from another album from that side of things as well. So there we are. So we got 5, 9, 12.5. Bang in the middle. Distinctly average from our perspective from that side of things. Let's go to Serainia Telli then. Dave.
4.
4. Chris.
4.5.
4.5. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, that little bit of preachiness just kind of took a little bit away, but no, this was really good. So.
Paul.
This is 3 from me.
Ian.
I'm torn between 4 and 4.5. I'm going to go for 4. And yeah, I'm going to go for 4.
4. Okay. Well, I give it a 4 as well, and Trish will give it a 5. So we have to settle on a 4.5. So it's going to be super close, isn't it? 9, 13, 16. It's made it! just about. She's crawled into the Hall of Fame. She's getting just at a 20. Whoa! Congratulations to Serainia Telli for reaching the MPJ Hall of Fame! You know, hey, it doesn't matter how you get in, you got the 20, well done. You might get a wild card in for Album of the Year, who knows? Maybe we'll have it enough to do that. But congratulations to Serainia Telli. Well done. Is an obvious winner. She's won by country mile, 5-0. This is where we're going to spend our money. So well done to her. So well done. So hey, do you agree? Do you disagree? Check out the albums. Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Whether you agree on that. Was Ian's 0 a massive harsh? Why? Well, let's find out. Please leave your comments. Not a problem. So anyway, thank you to my wonderful crew today. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Paul. Thank you to Ian. Thank you to Dave. Please keep on rocking and keep safe out there, everybody. Thank you and goodbye.
Adios.
Bye all.
Bye. Keep rocking, like and subscribe.